So, in today's training and today's episode, we're going to be talking about our LinkedIn strategy or the LinkedIn strategy that no one really speaks too often about that actually works. And this is something that I've been teaching now going on 14 years, believe it or not. And I've seen a lot of strategies come and go. There are still a ton of spammy, slimy, and sleazy tactics that people are still utilizing on LinkedIn, thinking that it's going to work and it's going to get them huge increases in revenue in their business, and it falls short every single time. So, what Nancy and I are going to talk about today is what we call the layer cake of LinkedIn, because it's not just one thing, it's a multitude of things that create that compounded effect. Now, before we dive in, Nancy and I are excited to announce, we talked about this the other day, that we are doing, for the first time in a really long time, I think it's been about a year and a half. It's the Amateur to Expert on LinkedIn 5-day workshop. So it's a 5-day workshop that teaches this exact 5 layer of LinkedIn strategy. Now, unlike other workshops that we've done, this one is actually a paid workshop for good reason. It's only $29 for 5 days with us, an hour each day, January 26th to January 30th from 12 to 1 Eastern. So literally for 5 hours with us, you only have to pay $29, which is under $6 a day. You get a workbook that comes along with this workshop, so you actually have something to take away with you to apply for accountability. Plus, we're going to be giving away prizes for accountability, and there is going to be replay access to each of the days. So if you miss something, now this is more of a intimate workshop that we're doing. It's going to be limited capacity. So we are limiting this between 100 to 150 participants. Typically, we have workshops where we have upwards of 1,000 to 2,000 people that register. And this is for coaches, consultants, and service professionals, i.e., lawyers, accountants, bookkeepers, insurance professionals, finance professionals that are really struggling with the ins and outs of LinkedIn. You know there's holes and gaps, and we want to fill those gaps and voids in your business with our Amateur to Expert on LinkedIn in 5-day workshop. So if you're watching on social, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just type the word me in the comments and we'll send you the link to get yourself registered. Again, it's only $29. It's an hour a day. Even if you can't make it live, you get access to the replays. If you're listening on the podcast, the link to register is in the show notes and the description. And we've only been promoting this literally for a few days, and we already have, I think, 45 people signed up. So again, 100 to 150 people is literally our target number. We're going to keep this very, very intimate to those that are really wanting to dive into the depths of LinkedIn, not just signing up for something and then not showing up. Like if you're really wanting to learn LinkedIn, make the $29 investment in yourself and come into our LinkedIn world. So the layer cake of LinkedIn. So Nance, I'm going to turn it to you first. And the first thing that we always like to talk about is that it actually all begins with your LinkedIn profile, because that acts as the connection point to all the other layers that we're going to talk about. So speak to the audience a little bit about the importance of optimizing the LinkedIn profile that everyone basically just puts up as like a resume instead of using it like a website.
Yeah, I mean, your LinkedIn profile, in fact, I always talk about this, when I was doing research, when I wrote my book, How to Build Your Personal Brand on Social Media, every single personal brand expert basically said that everyone who's building a personal brand, every service professional, everyone out there, right, should have a presence on LinkedIn. And the reason across the board, is the reason that we talk about all the time is the fact that your LinkedIn profile can be searchable, right? Someone goes right into Google and types in your name and it pops up. we have the opportunity to put our best foot forward and really control the narrative of what our brand is saying, what people can see about us. They can see our recommendations, they can see our about section, they can see, how the heck they work with us. They can see our content, that we're posting consistently. So your profile, that is step one, right? Optimize your profile. And, there is a way to do that. Obviously, we do have a free resource for that as well, to optimize your profile. But also, it's so impactful when you are able to optimize everything from an SEO standpoint. We know that when people search, the right things are going to come up, your articles, all the content that you're posting. It's an absolute game changer. So, optimizing your profile from the top down, even the header. And you guys are going to hear, I promise you, right? With all the knowledge that's flying out there, you're going to hear a million different ways to, format, right? Different things. But we got to tell you, right? Scott's been doing this for years and years and years, and we've worked with so many thousands and thousands of clients at this point. Scott used to do training for the top financial firms for the entire country. So it's like we definitely have been there. We've done that. We've seen what works. We know the best practices. And we stay to as tight and as close as we possibly can to following LinkedIn's guidelines, right? We want to use LinkedIn the right way in the way that it was designed. And so optimizing your profile is absolutely step one of really getting the wheels on that bus.
Yeah, and just to kind of just piggyback really quickly is to think about optimizing your LinkedIn profile is including keywords all over your profile, headline, about section, experience section that your ideal client would be searching for. So think about some of the keywords or the hard skills that you possess of how you help people, and you need to flutter those all throughout your profile. And the good thing is, we're going to be covering all that on day one of our LinkedIn workshop. So the second layer is building the right type of network on LinkedIn. So this is where everything kind of connects. When you have your profile optimized, your next action step is to use the 100 invite credits that you're given each week to connect with people on LinkedIn, to strategically and specifically connect with two types of people: potential ideal clients based on industry or professional title, and business allies. Business allies are people that you can collaborate with. You can refer business back and forth with. You can do joint ventures with. You can help each other's businesses grow just by being connected. So many people adopted this spray and pray methodology where it was a quote unquote race to 30,000 connections because you're allowed 30,000 connections. So people thought it was this quantity metric over quality. The quality connections that you make lead to the quantity of connections. So, yes, I have 26,000 connections and 36,000 followers, but you know what? It's taken me almost 14 years to build that. I've been specific and strategic in every single connection request I have sent and received because there has to be validity to why I'm connecting with that person and why I'm accepting that person's connection. I don't want to accept people that do not fit into one of those two buckets. So everything that you're listing on your profile should match the types of people that you're connecting with, right? So who are your ideal clients from a profession or industry standpoint? Use the search engine to find them, use the network section to find them, but in the same breath, focus on networking with other business allies that could help you get in front of more people. And just as ideal clients, use the search engine to connect with them, use the My Network section to find them and connect with them. And again, we're going to be going over the depth of this in day two of our LinkedIn workshop. So if you're looking for more specific details on that, obviously, we'd love to see you there. So optimize your LinkedIn profile. Only send connections and accept connections from ideal clients that fit your demographic from a profession or industry standpoint, professional title, or a business ally. Now, the next layer is messaging. And I'm going to kind of roll right into this, and I'm going to turn the next layer to Nancy after this. You don't want to send 18 paragraph long drunkalog verbal vomit messages to people. That is a way to get blocked on LinkedIn. It's a way to get reported, and it's a way to get no results. When you're reaching out to someone on LinkedIn, You need to make sure that you reach out to them in a very warm and genuine way. Now, we have a specific messaging structure that we're going to be teaching in our workshop, but just to kind of give you the 10,000 foot view of it, when you're reaching out to someone, state a connection point. Hey, Nancy, thanks for accepting my connection request. I noticed that we're both coaches. Would love to hear what's working well in your world and business and share more about what's working with mine and how we can support each other here on LinkedIn. Anytime for a call or a Zoom this or next week. It's very warm, it's inviting, it's natural, it's not spammy. You're not looking to sell and pitch your audience, whether they're an ideal client or a business ally. You're looking to make connections, you're looking to build relationships, you're looking to build the know, like, and trust. So don't pitch slap people, build relationships. Nance, the next layer, which is our favorite, is content.
Yeah. So this, and this is a huge, huge thing, obviously, that we're leaning into. We'll talk about it during the workshop. It's a huge piece of it. It's not the only piece of it, but when you're able to show up on LinkedIn and you're able to share the skills and your knowledge and your experience, it does so, so much, right? It does so much more than just people posting generic stuff or just posting just a trending topic with no context. When you're able to share your views and your point of view around things, right? You're able to show up. People see that, right? Because we even said, if you optimize your profile, it's searchable. People search you when they want to hire you. They see that you know what you're talking about, right? They see that you have that authority in your space, that you know what it is that you do, your industry. So content is so incredibly important. So sharing your thoughts and your content, sharing your perspective, right? I know a lot of people actually like to share things that they see. Great, but make sure to put that little note on there, what your thoughts are and your perspective. Post when you have something valuable to share, okay? Don't just post generic garbage, okay? Use LinkedIn the right way, right? We want to create conversation. We want to actually share stuff that is valuable. We want to respect our audience's time and attention, guys. They're getting inundated by so much stuff, so let's make it good stuff. Okay. Also, this doesn't have to be hard, right? There's systems, that we can put in place around creating content. There's so many little things that we can do. But it doesn't take hours and hours and hours and hours, right? It should not take you hours every single day to squeeze the best juices right out of LinkedIn. So content's huge, but again, we don't want to just be posting random stuff. We'll touch on this a little bit more in the workshop, but definitely want to set yourself apart as the expert in your space.
And just to put a quick bow on this before we end today's training and today's episode is you need to think about how your profile is optimized, the people that you're connecting with, the way that you're messaging them, all leads into the type of content that you're creating. You're creating content for your ideal clients. So if you're connecting with the right people, you need to make sure that you're creating the right content that's going to engage them the right way. You're showcasing your expertise, you're showcasing your knowledge, you're leaving them better, and you're having them want to come back for more because you've given so much of your knowledge right to them for nothing. And this goes for any text post that you create, an image text post, a carousel post, a quote tile, a LinkedIn newsletter, an article, a LinkedIn video, a poll question. And we break all this down systematically in our workshop that's coming up. So again, it is from the 26th to the 30th of January from 12 to 1 Eastern Time, live and recorded. Again, it's $29 for the 5 days with us. It's an hour a day, so 5 hours of our time we're giving to you for less than $6 a day. You get a workbook so you can follow along and take something with you after we're done for accountability purposes. Again, if you're listening on the podcast, the registration link will be in the show notes, the description, and the email that gets broadcasted out. If you're watching on social, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just type the word me, M-E, in the comments, and we will send you the link to get registered. Remember, we're limiting this to between 100 to 150 people. We already have close to 50 people already registered, so jump on board. Do not miss this. If you want to learn how the layer of LinkedIn can work for you and your business, turning on that LinkedIn growth engine, that is exactly what we're going to teach. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love and gratitude, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.